that would be annoying if they weren't so incredible and adorable. So thanks, friends who were walking by and waving, and thanks, strangers who were walking by and waving, and thanks, people who were just standing stock still and looking at us. It's really unnerving and beautiful. So thank you very much.
This really is just an immense family reunion. Stu Weiss, thanks for stopping by. I hope you and Meg have an awesome time this week.
Thank you, David and Gary. Great to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
We're all here for the same thing, and I hope you enjoy yourselves as well.
Celebrate.
We intend to. Thanks.
And now I would like to welcome my friend and colleague, Eric Schwartz of KNON.
See, I've never seen
Lone
Eric in person.
Star
So
Dead.
It was like this is like one of those game shows
It's
where
so cool to be here.
I'm being reunited with someone I've never met.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Eric
Nice
Schwartz,
to see you.
part of the fraternity of Grateful Dead broadcasters. There's been, for all these years, we have our centralized Grateful Dead channel, but there have been all these little community-based stations that have had Grateful Dead shows. Of course, David Gans was a pioneer in the field with the Grateful Dead Hour. First the Deadhead Hour on KFOG, and then the Grateful Dead Hour. And there are so many great little Grateful Dead shows out there that maybe reach a limited audience, but it adds up. See?
It's really important, I think. I've been on the air. Our show actually is, I think, the longest running Grateful Dead radio show in the free world. It was started in 1983 by Grateful Dave Moynihan, and I think Dave started in 85. So we're claiming the longest running. We're claiming the Guinness Book of Record on it.
Yeah.
And we're in our 32nd year, and going back to where you couldn't point and click and hear every note that Jerry ever played. When people actually huddled around the radio,
yes,
and commiserated together. It's just important. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now and have been doing 23 years if I hadn't heard David Gans on the radio. I'm gonna get all mushy on you, man. From what you've done for Deadheads in your career and what you've shared with us is you've made me a better Deadhead and a better broadcaster, and it's just something that it was a pipe dream, and
sweet of you to say.
For sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
Go ahead. Well, over and above Eric's work on the radio, he is also the most insane collector of Grateful Dead Chazarai
I am kind of nuts.
You've ever seen.
I am kind of nuts.
This is a man who will go on eBay and find the high school yearbook of Grateful Dead members, other people from the San Francisco scene, and will post pictures of their incredibly embarrassing high school.
I was honored. Justin Kreutzmann reached out to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Do you have any crazy photos of the band from high school? We're going to use them for the films back here." So, it was so honored to play a tiny drop in the bucket of this production. Whether it's 2 seconds of Phil Lesh from high school,
with his crew cut,
with his buzz top. But
I'm happy to say I'm represented in the visuals here because I shot 8mm footage of the Grateful Dead at the Pavilion in Flushing Meadows, New York, in July of 1969, and Justin's used it several times, and it just always excites me. It's my home movies, and I think they've turned up on the big screens here, and I think they're going to be in the Scorsese Amir Bar-Lev documentary, and it blows my mind.
It's always nice to contribute to an official project, being from a little radio show in Texas and being able to have stuff in some box sets, and it's just an honor, to be able to do that. Well, we were talking about broadcasters. I got to say, I just came from Santa Clara. The atmosphere, just everything out there was amazing. I saw an Ed Donahue shirt out here a minute ago, and there were like three of them together standing. Where are you going to see, just those kind of icons of our past? But I was sitting behind downtown Deb Trist, who's also been on the air for years, and we had never met. And so I noticed she was a row in front of me and handed her my card, and she realized who I was. And, by the end of Sugar Mag, she started tearing up. I was crying like a schoolgirl. And it was just nice to spend, a little bit of a show with another broadcaster. And it's just important, especially now that we're here at the 50th anniversary, to... I'm over there. There's a Stanley Mouse pop-up store that I'm DJing at all weekend over on Wabash. Shameless plug. And we were playing some videos, and these two little girls came in, these 12-year-old girls, and came down and sat in front of the TV like they were watching Brady Bunch or Pokemon or whatever they watch. But they were just sitting there watching Jerry. I was like, that is so cute. That they're doing that. So
that crying at Sugar Magnolia.
It wasn't just me.
Well, it resonates with me because of, that's the most joyous and celebratory of Grateful Dead songs imaginable. But I had the experience of crying to Sugar Magnolia, the first show the band played after Bill Graham died.
Wow.
Because they did a press conference to talk about Bill before the show, and they talked about how Bill would absolutely torment them. That Sugar Magnolia had to be the first song they'd play at midnight on New Year's Eve. And they say, Bill, enough with Sugar Magnolia already. We played it at midnight, 10 years in a row. Can't we play Not Fade Away? And Bill would say, no, it's got to be Sugar Magnolia.
And then to play it for him.
And then they went out on stage, and from the first chord, I was a goner. I was weeping, and I was in a whole section of people who had worked for Bill and who were weeping. So your moment the other night, I completely get it.
Yeah, and it was just, the last California. Look, there's Gary right there. It's so funny, man. I mean, in Santa Clara, I went to the show, and my friend Larry showed up, and I took Larry to his very first Dead show in 1981, and there we were standing in Santa Clara, ready to go into his last one 35 years later. Just bringing us all together is just ridiculously important and way too much fun than I could have imagined. There's another high school friend of mine. There's Adam Bauer. I haven't seen him for 25 years.
It's amazing. It's just amazing.
We went to our third show together. We drove to Buffalo together, and we probably had to go to school the next day. 81, yes, the infamous Buffalo 81.
Yeah, I also want to mention Eric is also the inspired source of one of my favorite recent pieces of Grateful Dead licensed merch, which is the Grateful 45.
The Grateful 45.
Those are so cool.
Well, I'm a huge 45 collector. Something about the 7-inch format seemed a little more finite, that I could actually collect them all, or close to them all, as opposed to all the albums and stuff. So we've kind of turned my record labels into some T-shirts, and they're Grateful 45s. You can just type that in any of your favorite search engines. But it was just, again, that was just another honor to actually be part of an officially licensed product that came from, some records that are sitting on my shelf. And there's just something about that 45 adapter and those old labels that's just really strikes a chord in nostalgia with people.
Yeah, I like having a couple of those shirts myself in my rotation.
One of mine will make an appearance this week. I had to wear my Ornette Coleman shirt today.
I may have to wear a Lone Star Dead Radio T-shirt tonight to the show.
I think you're totally allowed. Eric, I would like to invite you to come back tomorrow and talk with us about tonight's show.
I would love to. These arena shows are like, I just walked for like 2 hours to get here. Yeah. So much more work than I'm used to. But now that I know where you are, I am coming back. Good. And I'd love to. It's so good to meet you, Gary, after talking to you all these years. You're just a wealth of joy.
Well, it's a joy having this this online email relationship with you, and it's great to cement it here and have a great show. I'm glad I could
surprise you. You have a good show. It's so nice to tell that to somebody. Just have a good show. Have a good freaking show.
Eric Schwartz is the host of Lone Star Dead on KNON in Dallas. What's the frequency? 90.3, and it's on Fridays.
It's on tonight at 8 o'clock Central.
At 8 o'clock Central Time, and we're going to talk with him again tomorrow. Now, we want to introduce our contest winner.
Oh, yeah.
This is Amber Underwood, who came all the way from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
As the winner of our contest to be here. Welcome.
Thank you.
This was the big package with all